And yes, it is essential to pull this weird face while applying mascara. G'day Possums, it's Hayley here. Thanks for joining me again from another one of my little videos. Today is a two-part series which is a makeup and hair tutorial for a cheetah, no fuss, vintage style look that you can do every day. So this is, hopefully you realise this is the after look. I hope that's obvious. But I'm going to take you through the process of how we get here. Alright Possums, let's get started. You can see here I have a very blank canvas. Thankfully we've got a lot of work to do. You'll just have to excuse my just got out of bed super glamorous hair, and we're going to sort that out in part 2 as I mentioned. But part 1, I would encourage you, if you want any genuine makeup application skills, to please search elsewhere in the internet. I have attempted to develop my makeup application over the years. Unfortunately, it has not changed since a lovely girl called Sally at the Bobby Brown counter in David Jones, Brisbane, taught me a pretty simple application in 2010. So I have been applying my makeup in exactly the same way every day, 365 days a year since February, March 2010. So look, I'm not sure if that's a point of pride. What that says about me, but hey honey, if it ain't broke, don't be fixing it. Now the one thing that has changed, I once had a makeup bag of kind of complementary makeup items that sort of all work together and layered beautifully, all happened to be in Bobby Brown just because my friend Tia once gave me a Bobby Brown bronzer for Christmas and it looked ace, so I just went to Bobby Brown and said load me up. But over the last couple of weeks and months, you know, money's been a little tight, so I've simply replaced my perfect, amazing cosmetics with the cheapest alternative at Priceline. And so, does it work or not? Well, that remains to be seen, but that's what I've got at the moment. So, starting off with foundation, I'd like a base, but haven't got any, sorry Possums. I've got this number 7 beautifully matte. Again, I went to go and buy Bobby Brown foundation. It was like, I don't know, 40 quid, which is like $80 or $90. So I went to the number 7 counter and the bird gave me this instead. Now, the only thing is, they do this little, they do this, like make this big point of matching your skin. So the girl got out this like little computery thing and she like stuck it on my face and it like pulsed or did something, probably absolutely nothing. And then it seemed to pop out that this was my foundation colour. I don't think it matches my skin tone at all. It is too dark and too pink. Oh, hey, Bonnie, off you go. It's too dark and too pink, but the one part she did get right was that I said I like a really full coverage foundation. And you can't get much more full coverage than this. It's basically like applying tar. So I take a little bit of this beautifully matte number 7 foundation and I just kind of pop it in the most intense periods of me, which I get a really sweaty T-zone. So I just put it, get under the eyes, fill in the old bags, Possums. Straight down the nose and into the little creases there, which goes really red. And if you can hear claws kind of, you know, grating in the back of your brain on timber floorboards, that's Bonnie. A little bit more. Okay, I get terrible, especially, you know, certain times in the month, lady, I get terrible kind of pimples just under my chin here. So this tar just sort of mops that right up, bleaches it right out of my face. So just kind of in the key part there, because this is really full coverage, I don't like to completely plaster my whole face in it. In Scotland, where it's 2 degrees, yes I would. In Brisbane, where it is on its way to winter and currently about 25, 26, no, I'm not going to do that. So that's that kind of thick coverage part just down the middle section there. And then I layer onto that a number 7 Stay Perfect foundation, which I only own because Lisa's mum had it spare in her drawer. I'd run out of foundation and she gave me this. So talk about matching your skin tone. Kim and I probably, I wouldn't say we share similar skin type, but anyway, hey, he's gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. So I just put that over the top and kind of fill in the gaps that I missed with the other full coverage foundation. This is just a lot lighter, you know, wetter. I'm sure there's a technical term for that. And I just kind of fill it all in the gaps. So that's at least got away all of that. Let me have a little, sorry, look in the little mirror here, Possum. Okay, bag's still not looking great, but I don't really have anything I can do that with. I used to use like a Bobbi Brown under eye, which is absolutely incredible, and I totally recommend it, but I'll just wait till I've got a spare 60 bucks laying around and I'll get another one. Hang on, I think we might need a bit more of this. Oh dear. This is what I get for sitting up all night watching The Bodyguard. I mean, come on, who can turn it off? Ultimate love story. Okay. Okay, that's a bit better. I can't even see this old mirror. It's covered in dust. I can't even see. How does that look, Possums? Yeah, it's working? Okay. Okay. Good. All right, base done. I really need to go and wash all the foundation off my hands. Hang on a sec, Possums. I'll be right back. Ta-da! My Aldi face wipes. Now I know everything tells you to never ever use these pure alcohol, poison wipes on your face. I use 2 every night, but I always keep one with me when I'm applying my face, because you may notice I don't actually use any kind of makeup. Well, I use a blusher brush and one brush for my eyes. The rest, it's all with the free makeup brushes that come attached. So yeah, keep those in hand to keep the old pores. Your mitts clean. Okay, so foundation done. Next is bronzer. Now, I never used to use bronzer. I left it in my room. All right, hang tight, Possums. I'll be back. Ta-da! Back. As I was saying, I never used to use bronzer until I met Lisa. Now, if there's one great benefit to being in a lesbian relationship is you get double the makeup size. 2 makeup bags, much to Lisa's disgust. She absolutely hates it when I go into a makeup bag. So I always make sure I look how it's all placed. And then I sneak one out and I use it and I put it back exactly where it was. Didn't even know that, here's your babe. So I never used to use bronzer. Oh, I'm sweating. Never used to use bronzer, but Lisa, lives and dies by a hair straightener, straightens her every day, and uses number 7 bronzing pearls. They're like these little like bronzy beads in a little tub. So I use those until I bought something from Bobbi Brown and got sent the number 2 bronzer, which was amazing. Best bronzer I've ever used, but again, it's run out. I dropped the little sample thing onto the ground and smashed all the bronzer into a million pieces. So I popped in to Priceline and got this little NYX Cosmetics bronzer. Look, it's not great. You have to apply a ton for it even to show. But look, better than now, Possums. So just use my little, blusher brush for everything and just get the bronzer, kind of like how you'd use blush in the 80s, but use the bronzer instead. So I remember my mum in the mirror, like, straight up under, oh, that's a bit sort of like up along the lines, down here, down the neck, just kind of like, I don't know what that does something. And then on the end of the chin, end of the nose, high points, that's the term, Possums, anywhere where the sun would naturally touch. So kind of along the hairline, yeah, high points. Don't I sound professional? Okay, so that's just like de-matted my totally matte down face. Just give it a bit of shape. I've created some kind of weird 5 o'clock shadow over here. Yeah, so that's just kind of highlighted that a little bit. Give it a bit of depth, Possums. And then we get into the blush. Now, again, look, this is not an ad for Bobbi Brown. You can see it's not because I don't have any Bobbi Brown products. But one amazing thing, and I don't know what brand you'd use, and I would totally recommend this. If there's a way, so when I originally bought my makeup set, you could buy this kind of empty compact and you could fill it with what you wanted. So I could fill it with my blusher, my eyebrows, you can see that's gone, my base eyeshadow, that's also gone, and then my highlight eyeshadow. And it just meant you could just carry that, and that's basically 75% of your whole face. You can see that 2 of them have run out and I've yet to replace. But at the time I really wanted like more of an orangey, like a peachy sort of blush, and I've been probably meaning to buy a peach blush since that day in 2010. But I just haven't, and I've actually replaced it with this tawny because, I don't know, I think I ran out and I didn't want to go into the store, so I went online and didn't know what to choose, so I went with the one I already had. But actually, probably a pinker tone with the bronzer base actually sort of works. So, I mean, rose. You can't go wrong with a rose tone. Or maybe you can, but so just smile. When you're looking at this face in the mirror, that makes it extremely easy. And just kind of get the apples. So, because obviously your bronze is doing this work back up there, but the blush just on the apples, and it will go into your crow's feet. So just kind of, get that out. So blush done. Same brush. See, you don't need multiple brushes, and they all work. Okay, next part. What's next? Okay, so the base of the eyes. Now, as I mentioned, I've run out of my eye base, as you can see, which is usually here, which I would usually use Bobbi Brown Champagne Quartz, which is number 2. That is actually a really nice colour. It goes on beautifully, and that little square will last you about 2.5 years. But I've instead got this Models Prefer highlighter, which was a dubious purchase of just a couple of dollars, but actually it's really amazing. Of all of my cheapskate products, I've been enjoying this one the most. So Models Prefer highlighter, it's going to cost you a couple of bucks from Priceline or wherever. Models Prefer, Google that. And it's sort of got 4 colours, so it's got a really light kind of highlighter to go under the, I don't know, you probably can't see that. I'll zoom in later and cut it in if I can be that fancy on the editing. Kind of like a bronze, a darker gold, and then like a kind of coppery tone. So that works really nice. So look, we might go, we'll stick with the kind of darker gold. So I'm just going to lay that across the whole, again using my amazing free applicator here. We're just going to cover the whole lid, right up to the brow. Oh, I've got it all just adds sparkle, Possums. Don't be too panicky about this stuff. Okay, so we're just going to kind of cover the whole, can you see that? Yeah, so I'm not, sorry Possums, that's quite maybe I'll use my little wipe here. Maybe I'll change fingers just for your mental well-being through this video. Okay. Okay, but that's a little bit too light if I'm honest, but you know what, we're going with it. Now, my other brush that I use, which I think is because I haven't lost it, is this little bullet brush. So, yeah, I don't know whether I just got sold this as a sucker, but this little bullet brush, and that's what I use would be my second tone. So I just use 2 eyeshadow colours every day for 7 years. So this is Bobbi Brown Chocolate number 11. So we went from number 2, Champagne Quartz, to chocolate number 11. And we're just gonna get that straight in the lids there. So just run it along. Oh, that looks a bit manky. Just kind of build it up to the sides. Don't panic it, don't overthink it. Just straight in the lids, little horseshoe there. Look, and that just gives you a little bit of depth in the eye there. Now, just so I'm not looking a million miles away, I'm just gonna use it just here. Hang on. Oh no, that doesn't work, so I need to spread my lid. The old lids aren't as tight and taut as they once were, Possum. Oh. What am I doing? I can't actually see. Okay, I think I've gouged my eye and I think it's about to start watering. Okay. Hang on, let me just have a little close-up of this. Wait 1 second. Alright, that's not really how I would usually do it, but anyway, that's all done. Beautiful, lovely. And then we can get this little lighter, I don't think it's necessary because the one on my lids is quite light anyway, and you can just sort of put that under the eyebrow. That's a bit of an 80s tip from back in the day. In there, look, I'm just going to take a little bit of that bronze and just darken the name a little bit because it's a little light. Anyway, forget I said that. So, eyes done. So really just one lighter colour covering the whole lid, and then just a nice darker complementary colour, in the lids there, just to give you nice definition. Brows are next. Now, I was one of these people who used to pluck their eyebrows to a skinny, tiny little line. I mean, I think we all did that back in 1997. Brows were out. But no, I like quite a full brow now. The thing I would say is, if you're not used to filling in your brows, don't judge it until you've put your mascara on. Okay, because while just the brows are there and you've got no mascara or eyeliner, your brows are going to look super intense. But once you get the mascara and things going and you build up the eye, get your lippy on, well, it'll just even it right out. So don't panic just yet. Just go with it and you can always tone it down later. Oh my God, how it's intensely sparkly in my eyes. Okay, so it comes with this little angled brush. That's what you want. That's what's going to create a shape. and I just follow along the shape of my existing eye. So I actually got given this by the lovely team at Fab Brows, and it comes with sort of like little templates that you know, choose. Oh, that's a bit of a cute brown. Whack it on your face and you just fill it in with the brush. It does actually create amazing shapes, but I got a little bit lazy and then just reverted back to, you know how I said I've been doing my face the same way every day since 2010. Well, yeah, I just kind of reverted back to that. So I just kind of touch a tiny bit. So look, you can see this little palette comes with a light and a dark. So this is for a dark haired, dark eyed kind of person. It's probably a tiny bit grey. The colour I would ideally be using is my Bobbi Brown colour. Oh my God, it's worn off. You can't even read it. You know what? I've looked at this every day for 7 years. I can tell you it's called Hot Stone. I can't tell you what number it is on the Bobbi Brown colour palette, but I can absolutely tell you it's called Hot Stone. If I looked at something every day and couldn't remember it, well, that would be deeply disturbing. So for now, I'm just using this little... Well, anyway, I don't even know what the colour is. It's for a dark-haired person. Anyway, I'm going to stop paddling and do the brows. Okay, so I'm just going to follow the line of my brow. So start on the inside and just work a little line across the outer reaches of where the hairs kind of start. So I'm just kind of filling in what's there. I'm not sort of creating anything new whatsoever. And just creating a nice little arch there, which is probably so intensely sharp, I'm going to start offending small children and babies. Yeah, we might just soften out that kind of Mr. Burns arch there, but there we go. So there's one. Let's see how that's just giving me a little bit more definition than the other. So now to the other side. Oh my God, look, I've told you, I swear, I mean, I've got to turn the fan off because otherwise it will wear in the microphone, and look, I'm sweating all my makeup off. Oh, Hayley, what do you like? Okay, we're just filling in there. There we go. Look, again, we don't want to panic about these things too much. I mean, no one's going to get a ruler out and measure the, you know, is the space identical? If it looks about right to the eye, it's about right. That'll do. Yeah, so that's just filling in those brows, giving me a little bit more definition. Now, this is the part I'm going to have to get a bit weird on you, Possums, because I'm going to need to really lead into the mirror. So, eyeliner. I do an eyeliner on the top of my lid. If you can, avoid black. I mean, unless you're 19, maybe just get the black out, because it just, for me, it just looks too severe and too harsh. I do use a thick black mascara, but I think if you can use a really dark brown, you know, inky, you know, it can be very close to black, but try to avoid black. I've tried it and it just looks, I don't love it. If you are amazing at applying eyeliner and you can do an awesome kind of cat sweep, which I've never been able to work out how to do, go for it. If you're as useless as I am, stick to a slightly softer colour and it won't look so obvious that you have no idea what you're doing. That can be my #1 kind of tip for beginners. Okay, I need to kind of pull my eye tight and do this, and because I'm sitting a metre away from the mirror, that's not really going to work. So what I'll do here, look, I've got this little trusty number here, and then that way maybe you can kind of see me. I'm not, right, so I'm going to take, you know, the little end. This is a little like screwy one. Again, I bought this super cheap. This is Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in Lucky Lead. Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil, colour number 20, Lucky Lead. Again, this is just a couple of bucks. But I would usually use the Caviar Ink liquid pot, the gel, oh, what is it? It's some liquidy stuff in a little pot from Bobbi Brown, and you apply it with a brush. Love it. It's not cheap and it does dry out, so when you get to about 75% of the pot, the last kind of 25% is always a little bit manky. So anyway, I've gone for this pencil here. So I'm just going to draw my eyelid out. You know, you've got to like iron out the creases sometimes, Possums. Right along the eyelid, don't panic too much. I mean, this applies it a lot thicker than what I would like, but you know what, so lovely, life's too short. I'm just going to keep drawing it past the, look, you can't even really see a difference. But you know, that'll kind of show up once I put my mascara on. So I don't know how to do a fabulous flick and all. You know, definitely Google somebody else for a tutorial. Maybe I should do the same. We should join each other, sit down and watch eyeliner tutorials together. You know, one day we'll do that, but for today we're just drawing a manky line and just kind of extending it. You know, when you pull out the eye, just kind of extending it past where the eye finishes, and that gives you, I don't know, some kind of fake pretend cat's eye that isn't applied very well. Just kind of chunk to that. I just drew a big. Okay, little hot tip. This little bullet brush that I had put inside my lids. If I like to think I'm the sort of person who gets up nice and early in the morning, has a shower, does her hair, applies her makeup, sits around, has a cup of tea, I don't know, does some yoga, and then goes to work. That is definitely not the case. I am almost always applying my makeup in the car, on the train, on the bus, wherever it is that I can cram it on the way to wherever I'm going. So half the time I'm shoving an eyeliner stick in my face as I'm going around a roundabout. This little bullet brush sort of doubly serves to just, if you do a big chunk like I just did, you can just run it straight over the eyeliner and it just blends it out beautifully. So it just disappears these kind of big ugly chunks. But that just kind of gives you a little bit of definition on there. So good to, you know, using that brush again. And now final piece, the mascara. Again, I've been a bit tight, so here is a sample that my friend Patricia got free when she bought a full-size Lancome mascara. Thanks, Patricia. So she gave this to me. She obviously took pity on my terrible looking makeup and gave me this little sample. So, oh, got yesterday's hair in the way here. So I'm just gonna sweep and blink as I go and just keep building. Don't do it too thick. You're better off to do multiple layers of the mascara quite thin than really chunking it on. That's just going to create all your horrible kind of clumpy lashes. Okay, God didn't bless me with too many gifts, but one of them was I do have quite curled eyelashes naturally. If you don't, I've never used an eyelash curler. It looks like a weapon of death to me and probably would involve me poking my eye out at least once in my life. So I can't give you any tips on how to use one of those, but you know, go for it if that's what you need and that's what's comfortable for you. Okay, just building, back second layer here. And they're kind of coming together, go all the way to the outer edge, all the way to the inner edge. I know that there's a huge market for mascaras and every different mascara comes out and it's 1,000 times lengthening and 1,000,000 times plumping and all that junk. You might like the comb and, you know, all these different kind of shapes. I just like a brush. So whenever I buy a new mascara, I go to all the counters and I ask the girl and I just say, look, I don't care what's in it. I just want to know, does it have a brush applicator? Because that's getting rarer and rarer and rarer as the time goes on, I tell you. So again, if you want to stick with my ideal but not currently practical financially makeup recommendations, I would say the Bobbi Brown Extreme Party Mascara or the Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara. I've used both and they're both amazing. That's about right. So there you go, mascara done. Last bit is, of course, a nice red lip. I just broke my red lip liner, so thanks for that. That was really irritating. So my friend Sally, so I always recommend using a lip liner. I actually don't have naturally very thick lips. They're quite thin and kind of, there's not much of a defined line. So I always use a lip liner, and I would rather have a lip liner that I fill into lipstick than the other way around. So if you're going into the shop, err on the side of a lip liner rather than just a lipstick, and if you can go a lip liner and lipstick, then all the better. So right now I'm just going to use this weird Kiko Makeup Milano lip marker. It's basically a whiteboard marker for your face. I'm assuming because my friend Sally gave it to me as a gift to be used as makeup, it's not poisoning me, but I can't guarantee that's not the case. So let me just, got to dab away the old sweaty upper lip there. So just going to draw a line. I love that I've just entirely diverted to this mirror. Sorry guys, I didn't even check that you could even see me in this. I'm going to give it a go now. Okay, Possum, so at the end of my video, I just realized that the camera switched off. I had a total panic attack that I didn't record this whole thing, but alas, I could see from the viewfinder I got somewhere to the point of applying this kind of little Kiko lip liner marker. All I did after that was apply this, it's just, look, it's a little rust as opposed to kind of a ruby red. It's like a rust red lippy that I bought from the High Tatras, which is a beautiful mountainous region on the border of Poland and Hungary. I went to a town, no one spoke English. I saw a bunch of cosmetics for a couple of euro. Me and the lovely non-English speaking lady behind the counter looked at each other and was like, yep, who won't love a €2 lippy? But it's been travelling with me ever since, and I think it's a great colour. So I simply just filled in. Well, I don't know why I'm doing it again. I've already done it. Just really lightly. Don't, use loads. Just a little tiny bit. It will last longer if you put less on. So I've realised. Of course, in the night, bang it on if you want a super bold lip. But in the day, just touching. I'm going to pretend like I'm doing that for the first time. So there you have it. Makeup. Ooh, that would have been really loud. There you have it. Makeup tutorial done. It's not too bad. Looks a little better than when I started. So now join me for part 2. Well, not immediately, but I'll upload this later. For turning this yesterday's hair into today's fabulous updo. Thanks for joining me, Possums. I'll see you next time. Bye.